Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Transport FIFA 2, the Cuban edition, where last episode, guys, we transformed our whole train line system that goes from Colón all the way down to Pino del Rio. We've now upgraded it with 4 tracks running all the way through. This is our big infrastructure project, which pretty much now allows us to run commuter lines, cargo lines, and eventually high-speed lines all the way to the cities that we want. It's absolutely incredible. We had to do a lot of destruction to some of the cities to get these train stations in, but they're in and they're ready to rock and roll. So before we can implement high speed, we've got to wait until we eventually have the ability to implement high speed train tracks. We are going to start feeding the cities with all of their goods so they can slowly start growing. And we can now finally take advantage of that with the cargo lines that run in the middle. Now, my biggest issue with having the cargo lines in the middle, and it doesn't matter whether I had them in the middle or whether I had the cargo lines on the outside, or I had the 2 right being cargo, 2 left being passenger. It doesn't matter where the cargo lines are going to be. There's always going to be an issue with trying to get a train line running this way or down this way to connect to them. They've got to at some point go through the passenger line. So I want to play around with deciding on what the best outcome would be for us to connect the cargo lines to the middle to get them to all their cities. So before we do that, before we kind of figure out which cities we're going to start feeding first with the goods, whether that be food, lemons, fuel, tools, whatever it may be, I just want to say right now, guys, if you are enjoying the series, please make sure you smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. Now, as of right now, Mexico's looking pretty good. They're getting all our goods right now. We might have to kind of reevaluate what vehicles are on the line. And I think the Jamaica route is doing pretty well as well. We've got lots of ships going back and forth. We're all okay, apart from we probably need more vehicles because we are delivering like crazy. Right, so I think we'll start with Pino del Rio. We'll try and start with the cities that currently have cargo routes leading to them. And that's only one city right now. Pino del Rio, it's getting both its fruit, or its lemons, and its food. Which means we can then finally transform this and bring a train line through and in, and a train line down and in. So this is what I mean. This is where it's going to be a little bit interesting. Now, I'll maybe ask you guys in the comment section right now what will be the best option for it. Now, I personally don't think the commuter lines will be that busy. So let me pause. I personally don't think the commuter lines will be that busy for me to add a connection, but if the high-speed train line ran through here, I would maybe want the cargo line not to cross through the high-speed train line. So these are the ways that I could do it. Let's just say hypothetically right now, if I built my train line, that's going to lead down to here. So let's say I implemented a route like this. So I'm going to bring this in. This is my cargo line, and I need it to connect left and right, okay? I need it to go left into here and then right to continue. So I would then set up, and how tight is this left bend going to be? If I brought this out a little bit further, it could also be the wrong angle that I'm trying to attempt here. No, that actually could work fairly well. So if I did this, and where's the other one? The other one is, let me just kind of add you in. And I can get this then situated just right. And then where does it go? It goes to just there. Actually, let me bring it from there and then bring it in. There we go. Like that. So that's the turn to go into there. And then obviously this, we'll bring it a little bit further down, is the turn to lead into here. Okay. So that's how the cargo lines would run in. And all they do is they cross over this commuter line here and this commuter line there. Now, Even if I had it both on this side, the two cargo lines, if I wanted to bring a track from that side, I'd have to cross over the commuter lines anyway. So either way, that's going to be the issue. Now, my options are I could elevate to go over, but I don't think the commuter lines will be that busy. So I think this will be okay, providing we get the signals just right. If it was high-speed train running through, I'll make the high-speed train bridge over to avoid the cargo lines and commuter lines at the same time. So I think we'll be okay here. I don't think there'll be any issues. All I'm now going to do is just sort out the signals correctly, and then we can run into it. So signal and signal, and then we'll do signal and signal, which then leads to a signal and a signal. And that should be fine. So leading out, do I do the signal there? I know we're going to have a signal here, and obviously we'll have a signal there. I'll have one just there. Is this too short for a signal stop? I think it might be. You just want to get the cargo train out of here. So I'll do it there and there. And then that way the cargo train is out of the bend. No signal to stop it because the tail end might still be in, depending on how long that train is. But that's how we'll do it there for now. Okay. Now, like I said, I don't think the commute line is going to be that busy because it's only going to run to over here. And we'll probably eventually, once the trains are big enough capacity, like the final 4, you might only have 1 or 2 trains going back and forth, 3, 4 at a push, depending on their size. So I don't think it is going to be much of an issue. So we want to run this down into here. And this is going to deliver the food. Now, we've got to be careful because we don't really have much of a production over here. We don't have like the ability to kind of feed multiple cities. It's very, very minute. So to be able to feed multiple cities, like if I wanted to also feed San Cristobal, because we got to remember, we're also feeding Mexico as well. We would need to bring some more, you know, sugarcane or wheat down here. So I could also bring lines to bring it back, which there is some wheat over here I can maybe train in. That could also be a possibility as well. We've got tobacco over here to also bring in for the cigar plant, so that's something that we can also add on to it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now change all of these vehicles and move these. Actually, do I sell them or do I move them? No, I think we're just going to sell them right now. So manage the vehicles, select it, and confirm to sell. They're now all gone, unfortunately. It's a sad, sad day. Manage the line. I'm also now going to delete the line as well, because now I've got to redo all of this. So I'm going to delete the road to begin with until I figure out where the train line ultimately is going to be running. So the actual station itself then, we need to figure out our 2 central spots, which are obviously going to be here. And that's going to be leading into the main line. So if I run then this out, because we've got to do the double slip system. If I just run you out to there, just so I know where the placement is, the gap, before I can connect them all in. And I might have a secondary track there and another platform. So that would mean, yeah, that is the center. So I've got to get that there to bend and run all the way in and up to there. So if I ran like... Right, if I ran like that, there to there, and then that would bend round, and then is that something as simple as this? Very good. It should be, yes. Right, smoothie. All of this here. It's pretty flat land around here anyway, so there's not really that much smoothie we've got to do. And then we're going to sort this out. So let me just hypothetically build. I might not actually put the platform... No, actually, you know what? We'll put the platform in. There we go. So the options are there. Because obviously when the trains come in, we can give them multiple options on what platform they want to choose to kind of unload and load from. But then again, this is kind of the quiet. No, there's no other line in the center bit, so they could also mainly use that. But I want to add the additional connections on anyway. So this runs directly in. So it's a little bit different to how we've done the actual train lines for the passenger. All right, we bring... I'm going to treat it kind of the same, though. We'll bring it out a little bit. And then we merge it in. And then we've just got to do a crissy-crossy. There we go. Just keep it super simple. No need to overcomplicate things or do anything crazy. Super simplified. Okay, super simplified. So then, we've got that set up. We now need to deliver the food to Pina del Rio. So we need to create a line that's going to start here and of course end here on the cargo platform. Now I will allow it to choose in Pina del Rio multiple platforms, so the 2 cargo platforms, whatever one they feel like. I'll change it to an orangey color because we're bringing food over. We'll go that color. There we go. And again, the only time it kind of crissy-crossies is there and there for the commuter line. Hold on. I was about to send in for a second. We've got 2 options for them to run along down. I don't know if I like that on that commuter line, whether they can run down on this. I might do a waypoint because that might slightly annoy me. It's going to annoy me. Right, back over here anyway. We can allow it to use the middle point as well to load and unload with relativity. So there's another train on one platform, it can choose the other platform. So that is Pina del Rio. It's our new Pina del Rio food line. Now we need to buy a train for it, which the train would theoretically come out of here. So steam, I don't need anything too crazy. It is a short-ish route, but we do need a little bit of power. I might go for the 3.5. We'll start with the 3... Oh, no, actually, what did I have for these ones? That's a 3.5. Okay, I am using the 3.5. I'll start with the 3.5 and then we'll play around with it in the future. I'm just not sure what the best way to go about it would be. And then cargo-wise, we need the box cars, right, to deliver the food. So, box cars, let me do by capacity. Have I not yet unlocked? Oh no, we have got the 12 one there. So this is the lighter one, but it's slightly longer. So we'll go for a 96 capacity. It might be way too much, but I'll go with it anyway. And then we'll put that on the Pina del Rio food line, which I just want to be able to see it. Hold on. There. Oh, food train. Food. There we go. I think that is for down here, right? That is that one going back and forth. Now, we kind of have to keep that train in. So what's happening is we're picking up the food from here, which there's a train picking it up from over there. Now, that's because the train that picks it up from there to drop it off there also is passing it over to the harbor to take to Mexico. So we should... Do we have 2 trains on this food line? No, but we could now start thinking about adding more on. It depends on how much we bring back and bring over. It's something that we're going to have to kind of play around with. So back into play mode then. Right, we've now completely replaced that food run with the vehicles with a train line. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they can utilize this here to then merge in over there. Now, I get it. I understand it's their shortest route, but I don't like that. Can I use a signal as a waypoint? I can never remember if I can or not. So, Pina del Rio to San Cristobal. I can. So, just use that signal just so, you know, it is a hard fix that they're going there. I think that train's going to ignore it because it was already determined on that route anyway. But there we go. That's now pretty much all set up. So fast forward then. So unfortunately, this train's going to have to now... Oh, okay. It's going to Pina del Rio first. Gotcha. And then it will take its journey over here. Right. Okay. Okay, boys. So I know we're going to have an issue somewhere. We're not delivering enough food, but we've now switched that over. Which is perfect. That train's now going to do what it's got to do. Very good. We now have a direct rail connection down here. So what can I do here to increase the food delivery? We will have the issue with not enough stuff. It's a simple case of adding a second train like I did previously. But I've kept this, though, this system to one platform. Just for a little bit more ease. So if I try and do the same then. Alright, wait for that to go. It's about there. And then we bring you in. I can then add a second train. Providing we then sort out the signals. And you go there. So that should be on both sets of tracks right now, which it is. I can add a double slip here as well. And all I've got to do is manage this vehicle and duplicate it. So twice the food deliveries. Very good. Now, do these trains go back always filled to the brim? I think they do, but I don't think this train's going to get filled up right now, is it? So, no. We need more stuff to deliver back to keep that consistent flow of food being created and delivered. Which is probably what I'll maybe eventually bring something from over here, leading all the way down. It could be a little bit too far. But then again, I could also create a shipping route. But then again, there's a food plant just there we could also produce as well. Unless we up the numbers of the ships crossing here and the food being delivered. Because there's there's a lot. Right, we are going to... Is that the same ships I've got over here? I feel like it's slightly different. No, it is the same ships. Right, replace them. Now, if I do it by speed... This is the ones. I think we just need a few more ships. So if I add in 1, 2, 3, 4, duplicate, that will increase the rate of delivery of the grain coming back. For now, anyway, that will be a huge benefit. That will be a huge benefit for now. Just got to give it a little bit more time. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. That was absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'm assuming you've just recently delivered the food, right? Did you make money? Okay, you've actually done 2 deliveries. So we've got to get it to the point where it's making profit then, don't we? Right. We need more stuff being delivered. We really do. We really do. Okay. Very good, boys. Very good. Those increasing ships right now should make the difference. Right, that's now all done. What I'm then going to take a look at next then, there's no point me doing San Cristobal just yet, like food, because we're just not producing enough food. I could save that for like maybe a food plant further out the way. I mean, there's food plants over here we could also utilize to deliver to San Cristobal. It doesn't really matter. But I want to get this this fruit plantation. What do they produce again, sorry? Tropical fruit. I want to get the tropical fruit then also delivered. So it means that we'd have to turn this into a whole train route, which would have to kind of also kick in. But then how many connections will I then have? Is it better to have the connection on where this current existing connection is? Possibly is the answer. Possibly. So my question would be, do I then have the station this side? Because the further away the station is from drop-off point, the more money you make. But that could possibly... I mean, it will only be one train going back and forth, so it wouldn't need to be huge. I could just make it this size. So if I put it there, I'm just going to quickly pause again, delete these two signals. And it's better to have it on where it kind of connects already. So if I just come off here. Right, I want to try and do this. Logical. So if that went there, that came out. It's all on the same setup. It's all on the same system. Let me just delete these signals. And then we'll redo them again. And then the next set's over there. That should be fine. So it's all happening there anyway. So it becomes one big junction. And then tracks. You lead in, pushing you up. And then in you go. There's only going to be, like I said, there's only going to be one train on this route. But I'm going to add a couple of extra signals in it anyway, just in case, on the off chance it becomes like super busy. So it is a bit of a tight squeeze. It does cross on the opposite side. But like I said, because it's a commuter route on here, it's not going to be as busy. And if it was high speed, I wouldn't want them to cross because it will slow the trains down and then it's no longer a high speed line. So I think we can kind of get away with this. So this current line right now that we've got, Pina del Rio Fruit. Right, we're going to manage the vehicles and we're going to sell them. Okay. We're going to manage the line and delete it. It's now gone. So a new line from here to here. We're going to make it yellow. I'll rename it Pina del Rio Fruit. It only goes to one platform there in the halt, and in Pina del Rio itself, we get to utilize the 2 cargo, and it stays in the middle and then switches that way. So we wouldn't want like a big train, just something quite simple. So is the 3.5 going to be too expensive to run? I suppose we just do it, and then we just see what happens, right? Now, do we need, is it gondolas we need or is it boxcars? It is... Oh, that's a good point. What is it? Is it boxcars? Ah, yeah, it's right there, tropical fruit. So if I add in a capacity of... Because it's such a short distance, I'm going to start with 60. Okay. We'll start with 60 because it's such a small capacity. And then we'll go from there. You can see, like, there's no commuter trains right now. The only commuter train here is in the actual station. It's a very quiet line. The next one isn't for... Where is the next train? It's over here. You can see it's a really quiet line. So we just don't need... I don't think we need to kind of play around too much with all this stuff. It's as it is. It is as it is. Now, obviously, I could eventually turn this around if I want to deliver fruit elsewhere. But for now... There is no other city required at the minute. No, which is actually quite a benefit and a bonus. So we're all okay. We are all okay. So I can now officially get rid of you. And I can get rid of you. They're now all gone. Nice. Can I now get rid of you? Yeah, there's nothing that now comes to here, so we get rid of you. Or are they using that as the connection? No, we're still connected. I'll get rid of you because it saves a few pennies on the upkeep is what it does. Right. Perfect. Absolutely perfect, boys. Absolutely perfect right now. We've integrated and we've now made Pina del Rio get more deliveries faster. So like I said, I don't know whether having 60 is enough. It's probably not enough now looking at it. We'll just see if that kind of keeps building up as time goes on. This train, of course, probably won't eventually have enough food to deliver. But I think we're going to play around with the tobacco next. Now, the tobacco problem we've got is we can never deliver enough because there's never enough available. And it never delivers, and because it's a 2-to-1 on the cigars, we're never really bringing enough cigars back. So we do have 2 tobacco plantations here, which I can bring out, and rather than bending into the main line, we can kind of bring it round to connect into this. Unless I chose for it to run straight here and then round and then in. That's probably the better way to do it. Right, so buildings, I want an end cargo platform. And of course, we've got to get it to touch. Right, we're going to quickly do some landscaping. We've got to get to touch both of the things, platforms. Plantations. I can't even speak English right now. Right, that's way too long, right? Yeah, that one's way too long. So we'll do this, and I'll do 2 tracks. Because it might be a super busy route. I might have 2 trains on it, is what I'm saying. So we'll do 2. And it may be something eventually we incorporate the steel and stuff on, but I'm just going to place it here. But I needed to touch both of them. So I'm just going to get a little road. To there. And that touches both. Perfect. And then we're going to get our train tracks. And then that continues to run straight. That runs straight as well. All right, keep it going until we get to the point where we're thinking about then implementing the bend. Which I think will be around about here. Yeah, we'll go to there. And then bring it in. Simple, mate. Absolutely simple. So we'll crisscross here. There we go. And then we just sort out all the signals. So to there, which means we're going to need 1 here, then 1 there, and then, of course, 1 there. We'll then do this one, there and there. I haven't done all the signals leading down the rest of it, have I? No, I have not. Which then, that would go there. And I'll do 1 here. Right, so we're bringing in double the amount of tobacco that we're currently already bringing in. Now, I've got 2 options. Okay, I've now technically got 2 options. I could set this up in a double system where we have 1 train going back and forth here, which is what it does anyway, because this is the one that delivers the cigars back. We have to keep it like that. But if I set up a double system, I could maybe incorporate having the train from here going all the way to here and then back. Because this one has to pick up the tobacco anyway. Now, if I was to do that, I'm going to have to move this, I think. Or can I? Yeah, I'm going to have to move that because I don't think I can run. Oh, no, I can. Okay, glorious. Run this all the way up and around. And then what we'll do, we'll kind of widen this then at this point. So we'll add in another set of tracks. You know what, we'll go back 2 more. Because it might now start producing quite a few cigars. But I think we've got to do a little bit of a trick here. I think we've got to change what platform this train stops at over here to avoid any issues. So before I can do that, let me actually just create So that's the line there, right? No, that's the Pina del Rio. Okay, right. Let me just copy this. Let me create a new line. So create a new line from here to over here. And we'll call it Pina del Rio Tobacco because that's literally all it's doing. And then make it brown. Right, we've got to do Crissy Crossies. Otherwise, this will not work. And so we do it there. We do it there. The Crissy Crossy for that one happens over there, which is fine. And then we need Crissy Crossies over here as well, which we're going to have to do it on the bend. And then we're going to have to implement signals. So that goes there. That goes there. And then we have to do a couple of signals. Right, so my issue is, if I go back to this route, which goes from there to add station here. Wait. Oh, I don't think I clicked on that the first time round. And then we allow it to utilize both platforms. Now, I might make this a slightly darker brown so I can distinguish between the two on that line. This is going to be my issue, right? I've got this train coming down into there. And then going back out. So if this train's coming in now, stopping there on this right platform, then going back out that way, I'm either stopping the other train coming down, stops there and has to wait. And if I flip that to actually stop on this side, it can then pass directly through. But then I have the opposite problem with the other one. Unless I create or have a central bypass line that no matter what platform this is on, the train can scurry through. That is just about the right size. So I'm going to configure this right, and I've got an idea here. I've got a little idea, boys. A little idea. I'm going to have a central bypass line here. That, fingers crossed, is going to work. So let me delete you, delete you. Let me delete you and you. We're going to... I'm hoping this is going to work right now. Oh, we've unlocked high speed, guys. Let's go. So that runs into there. That's where we're coming from. So I bring you out. Bring you out. Bring you to there. Right, just bear with me a second on this one. You gotta bear with me a second right now. Right, that is here. I'm trying to make that middle line more central. I don't know how this is going to work, though. So, bring that... Well, let me delete that to there. Is it just easier to do it like this? And then we turn that into a double slip. Either way, we are going to lose out. But the most important thing is we're using that central, which I still think, do you know what? I think we might need to go for one more and have the double. Yeah, I thought I could get away with, I could get away with one, but if I've got multiple trains, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work with multiple trains, so put this back as it is. Configure this. It was a good idea, but I think we should just do it, you know, the proper way. I've got dedicated bypassing tracks here for this tobacco train, which I could have used them there, but again, it's still, you're waiting for at some point you're waiting for someone, and I'm trying to make it where you're not waiting for anyone. I'm trying to be smart, but you know, also it's probably a better idea to also probably think about deleting the whole station and rebuilding it. But there you go. Is what it is at this point. I could probably actually think about redoing this approach now, because it's now just not going to work. So let's start again, because my new central area is going to be here. Okay, it's my new central area. Train tracks running in. There we go. Configure this and delete this. Or do I make them run into there? Right, I don't think I'm ever going to decide, am I? I don't think I'm ever going to decide. Right. Let me do this as if I was doing it normally. So these run down into here. Okay. And then I've got to bring all these now in. So you're in like that. So you're there. Merging in there. And you're there. Which you go there. And you go there. And then I've just got to do the crisscross. So it's a lot further back than I wanted now. It's a lot further back and a lot more complicated. But that's okay. All right, bring you to there. Bring you to here. That goes in like that. And then, of course, we need ye old Chrissy Cross. So signal-wise, that goes there. And that should now work. Weirdly. Right? It should now work. All I've got to do... all this, just to have a bypassing set of tracks, is have you there. And, of course, you there. Just so I can kind of use them as waypoints. Actually, I don't want that one there. And I don't want that one there. I'm gonna put them after. So that goes there, and then that. Where does it merge in? Here, and I put that. Actually, why does that go down there? I've just realised that runs down to there, which is the wrong side. Okay, this here is messed up. I've done this here completely wrong. I have done this completely wrong. Right, let me get rid. Alright, don't help that being in complete shadows. Right, I've done it completely wrong here, boys. I do apologise for this. Do apologise. So track-wise, this is what we're coming out to and what we're running into. This is also, you could say, also treated as the main line. So I need to merge these two together further down. So let's just say we go to here. Let's just say this goes to there and you get that one just there leading into here. So if I just delete this real quick. Run you to there. Run you to there. And then we're merging into them because they come off individually. So this would come off that way, naturally. This comes off this way, naturally. And then I don't think we need to connect this because this is not connecting. So there is no need for that. There's no need. So we just merge you in. I'm going a little bit longer just so I can kind of maintain speeds. And then crisscross. Actually, I could have kept my crisscross in. Right, because there's no need to connect to that one. We've split them by being in the middle. And all I've got to do then is just tell them with the signal situation who's going where. So you would go there. Right, and let me just quickly now sort out that tobacco line. Okay, they already determined themselves. So I've just got to sort out now. So the crisscross happens there. But in theory, it could happen. It could also happen a lot differently still. I could bring both of these in together. So I could say with the tracks, the track here could go like that. And I don't need this, do I? All right, bring this up. Bring this up. Just a little bit more. Because I can have that run into there. While also you running into there. I'm going to run these back naturally now. Because it'll change the angle. Right, they run into it like that. And then I don't need them coming off as well. That's the other thing. So I just keep it like that. So if you're running down this way. Oh, hang on, let me do the signal. It's the signal that stops us. So running down this way, you can kind of see how it switches. It can switch there. Well, it switches here anyway. Double slip, yes. So it comes down, it switches there, and off it goes. This line coming in can switch there, or it can switch wherever it wants. But it's for them to both avoid their own oncoming train is what I'm trying to accomplish. They both avoid their own oncoming train. But these coming out this way can't get over to that side of the track. So you kind of still at some point need somewhere to crissy-cross. I could just crisscross here as normal. And then that solves a lot of their issues. So they come in this way, but they crisscrossed here, which I don't really want them to. I don't want to crisscross on their own oncoming train. You know what I mean? So I don't need the crisscross. I might just put the crisscross here for this side. Like this. I know what you're thinking, boys, before you say anything, but I'm trying to get them to avoid their own oncoming train. Now, if I say on the signals now, not signals, we'll do waypoints. Yeah, I've got waypoints. So if I did you there, you there. Are you not going to use your waypoint? We'll have to do it ourselves. So from the... Is this classed as the sit-ins? Yes. So I'm trying... Yeah, like, there you go. That works. So obviously they crissy-cross or they merge on to the other line themselves, but they avoid their own oncoming train is what I'm trying to accomplish. So no matter which side you're on, you avoid your oncoming train. And it keeps it flowing. It's more complicated than it needed to be. It's so much more complicated than that needed to be. It really is. I should have just kept it one line running in and then one just switches in. But I've inadvertently created this system where both sides avoid their oncoming train. I know. Okay. I could have just done it like this. I really could have. Anywho, all right, that's now all set up, by the way. So this train here, if I eventually choose to allow it to have multiple trains, then we've got the option. I can allow it to utilize both sides there, but either side it's on, it's avoiding the tobacco train coming in. Now up here, that train there, we're going to manage the line to allow it to utilize both sides. And that one does it anyway. Right. No dramas. Let's go. I'm only concerned is if that is too far over or not enough over. So what I might do is just quickly add in another 2 platforms here. Just to give me the length away from the crissy-crossy. Right. Smoothie. There we go, that would do. I'm not going to spend too long doing it. And back into play mode. Right. Is that now going to annoy me? Do you know what? It's actually pretty cool, though. I do like the idea that they avoid the oncoming train. They could have done and avoided the oncoming train anyway. Just by coming down and then turning in and then that coming out. I don't know why I've chose to do it like this. I don't know why. So before you say anything in the comment section down below, I don't know why I've chose to do it like this. I think it was a mixture of trying to build for the other 4 tracks that are no longer non-existent. I'm going to come back and change that. I really am. I'm going to come back and fix it. Don't worry. Right, so let me buy the trains from this one then. And we'll go with the 3 5s again. It's a base marker for what I need to do. And we need... Is it the gondolas for the tobacco? Or is it the box cars? It is the box cars. So we're going to add in a 120 capacity. And we're going to buy 2 of them. And this is going to go on our Pinot del Rio tobacco line. There we go. Right, I'm 100% going to change this. I really am. Again, I don't know why it's because I was trying to build for all of them, then halfway realized I don't need all of them, and then I still kept that system. Hilarious, right? Yeah, I know. Right, anywho, boys. Anywho. By the time those tobacco trains make it all the way down, we should have quite a bit of tobacco. Okay, maybe not. We've only got 1 on the platform. But I think that's more of the case of it's not enough people who want it. There's too much being stored there right now. So we kind of need more buyers. Now, I'm assuming Cancun is doing pretty well on the old cigars right now. They are. So how can I get rid of more cigars? Are we now looking to export into the United States of America? I think we might be. It's a long run to... Do they want food? No, they want fuel. It's a little bit of a long sail we've got to do, but we can bring it from this port to increase the amount of buyers of the cigars, thus increasing this factory alone. So I don't think we need two. I don't think we need two trains on that tobacco run. I don't think we do, boys. No. Not until this levels up a few more times. But who knows? With the frequency that we're going to have right now of the ships, with the increased numbers, we added additional 4 on. That could change things. Let me see if I can change the vehicles here. So if I'm to replace these, and we're going to go by build date, just so I can see when they were built and when I replaced them, which is these ones here. They carry 9. Let me go cargo. These carry 8. So I've still got the best vehicles at the moment. I could probably add an additional 1 or 2 on. Yeah, we could probably add additional 1 or 2 on. But we're delivering quite a bit. So I think the obvious thing will be is to deliver or start shipping to the USA. I think that's what we'll do next episode, is figure that system out so we can level up the cigar factory. That's going to be huge for us. No other city currently wants them, right? No. I could run a train to deliver it to down over here to ship it off to Jamaica, but USA is probably our next port of call. Right, okay. Is that enough to now annoy me? Because I could just made it that be the main line and then this adds on to it. I mean, that train's could add all that there with complete ease. This train's going to do the same. This train's running through. It does the job in a more exaggerated way than it needs to. That's what's annoying me about it. That really is what's annoying me about it right now. Right, Pina Del Rio. You are now getting a lot more supply. So we should see you start growing a bit more. Oh, Guantanamo now demands tropical fruit. Ooh. So the cities are changing, boys. Where's Guantanamo? It is all the way over here, boys. Interesting. Interesting right now. So I think we'll leave it like that for now and see how we get on. So we've now connected some of the industrial cargo lines to our main line. Our main cargo line, I should say. And we've now transferred some of the vehicle routes to trains, and we've increased the deliveries as well, which is really, really important for us. So this is only good news. Okay? This is only good stuff. My only issue is we are 100%, of course, not going to be able to deliver or make the line from over here profitable. There is no way in this world we can make this line profitable until the cigar factory levels up and demands more tobacco. Because we're not even delivering the full amount over here. So the only way to do that is to start sending more goods out of Cuba. Now, I can only increase Cancun as much as I can increase it, and it can only accept as much as it can accept. We need a new city consumer, which I think that is going to have to be the USA. Miami, they also want it. Do the Bahamas want any? No. But you never know. Things could potentially change. We've seen Guantanamo change. I know Haiti wants some cigars as well. And I think that's it then. If I can deliver to those places, it will level up the cigar factory, and then that line will be profitable. But as of right now, we seem to be doing pretty all right. The trains are all spaced out, where there's a train each end on this little back and forth right now. We've got no issues with the cargo trains coming in and out, and no issues on the commuter lines as well. So for that reason, boys, we're doing good. Okay, maybe not doing that good, because that line here is not really making much money. We might need a cheaper engine on it because of how short the distance actually is. Or it could be a case of I need to create better deliveries radiuses, because I'm assuming that doesn't reach all of the area where we need lemons. So, yeah. Lots of fine-tuning still to do, by the looks of it. Lots of fine-tuning still to do. But other than that, we're slowly getting there. We are slowly getting there. We have now high-speed rail available. So that's just a case of deciding when we are going to start building that stuff. But there is a lot of stuff on this platform, boys, and I am liking it. Right, until next time, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.